You think you know what a diamond is, right? It's a symbol of love or wealth, maybe even a spooky ancient curse. But what if I told you that stuff is kind of boring compared to the real story, the actual journey that diamond took through billions of years and just insane cosmic violence? Well, it blows any human story out of the water. Let's get into it. You've definitely heard the whispers about the Hope Diamond, right? It's cursed. Everyone who owned it died tragically. And honestly, the legend is pretty spooky. I mean, a jewel supposedly stolen from the eye of a sacred statue, leaving this trail of pure chaos and death behind it for centuries? It's the perfect ghost story. But what if the real story is even wilder? What if the truth isn't about ghosts and magic at all, but about something way more incredible, written in the language of, physics and geology? I promise you it's crazier than any curse. Let's dig in. All right, so first, let's look at the human drama. Because way before diamonds became this symbol of, I love you, they were all about power. We're talking cursed stones and conquered kings. Okay, so the legend of the Hope Diamond is pretty nuts. The story goes it was owned by King Louis XIV, who died of gangrene. Yikes. Then it supposedly belonged to Marie Antoinette, and we all know how that ended. The list of owners meeting a terrible fate just keeps going and going. But then, in 1958, it gets donated to the Smithsonian, and poof, the curse just stops. Kind of weird, right? So what's really going on? Is it magic? Nope. It's quantum mechanics. That incredible deep blue color, it's all because of a tiny little imperfection. For every million carbon atoms, there's like one single boron atom that snuck in. Think of it as a beautiful little flaw. And that one atom completely changes how light behaves. It absorbs the red part of the light spectrum, which means the only color that bounces back to your eye is that stunning blue. Seriously, isn't that way cooler than some old curse? In the Hope Diamond is not the only famous one with a dark past. Let me introduce you to the Koh-i-Noor, which means Mountain of Light. Now, its story isn't about a supernatural curse. Oh no, it's about 700 years of straight-up conquest. This thing was a prize of war, snatched from one empire by the next. I mean, look at this list of owners. We're talking Mughal emperors, the guys who built the Taj Mahal, Persian shahs, Afghan rulers, eventually the British Empire. This diamond was never, ever put up for sale. It was always taken. It's literally the spoils of war, passed down through bloodshed, a symbol of who was on top. Okay, so we've got curses, we've got conquests, but what about the biggest diamond story of all? The engagement ring. That ancient tradition that goes back forever, right? Well, what if I told you it was completely invented and it's probably younger than your grandparents? Seriously, think about it. Before the 1940s, giving a diamond engagement ring was something only the super rich did. It just wasn't common. But after 1947, suddenly it's the thing to do. It becomes this absolute requirement for getting engaged. So what on earth happened in the 1940s? You're looking at one of the most successful marketing campaigns of all time. So back in the 1930s, the giant diamond company De Beers had a problem. Nobody was buying diamonds. Their sales were in the tank. So they hired an ad agency, and in 1947, they launched a campaign with a slogan that changed everything. A diamond is forever. They didn't just sell a rock, they sold an idea. They literally invented the tradition of linking diamonds to marriage and eternal love. Okay, so curses, kings, and ad campaigns. That's the human side. But all of that, all our drama, it's just a tiny, tiny blip on the radar of a diamond's real life. The true story of where these things come from, it's on a completely different level of epic. You see, a diamond isn't just found. It's a survivor. It starts its life about 100 miles deep inside the Earth's mantle, forming over billions of years. And then it gets blasted to the surface in a volcanic eruption so powerful, so violent, that it travels faster than the speed of sound. It's basically a refugee from the center of the Earth. And the scale we're talking about here is just mind-bending. A diamond can be over 3 billion years old. That's a relic from when our planet was just a baby. And the pressure needed to make one, it's 50,000 times greater than the pressure you're feeling right now. Just try to wrap your head around that. Every diamond is a tiny little time capsule from a world deep beneath our feet that we will never, ever see. And here's the craziest part. What is a diamond made of? Pure carbon. You know what else is made of pure carbon? The soft, flaky graphite in your pencil lead. Yep, same exact atoms. The only difference is how those atoms are stacked together. One arrangement gives you something soft enough to write with, and the other gives you the hardest natural thing on the planet. It's the same ingredient, but a totally different recipe. So, you probably think diamonds are super rare, right? Well, on Earth, yeah, they are. But in the rest of the universe, not so much. Scientists are pretty sure that on planets like Neptune and Uranus, it literally rains diamonds. The pressure in their atmospheres is so intense that it squeezes carbon into solid diamonds, which then just fall from the sky. There could be entire oceans of liquid diamond on those planets. Wild. So we've gone from the deep Earth all the way out to diamond rain on other planets. Now let's circle back to that marketing slogan we talked about. A diamond is forever. Well, it turns out the ad guys accidentally stumbled onto a scientific fact. So what's with this number 2.42? That is the secret code to a diamond's sparkle. It's called the refractive index. And what it means is that when light enters a diamond, it slows down and bends. A lot. It gets trapped inside, bouncing around off the internal facets before it shoots back out directly at your eye. A diamond is basically a perfect little light trap. You know, a diamond straight out of the ground just looks like a greasy piece of glass. It's not that impressive. It's the skill of the diamond cutter, using the laws of physics, that unlocks all that beauty. Those precise angles they cut are designed to do two things. Capture all the white light, we call that brilliance, and split it into a rainbow of colors. That's called fire. So that sparkle you love, it's a perfect team-up between Mother Nature and human skill. Okay, so now look at this. A lab-grown diamond and a natural diamond. They are exactly the same. I mean, chemically, physically, structurally, identical. A gemologist can't even tell the difference without special equipment. They are both real diamonds. So what's the only real difference? The story. One is a billion-year-old survivor of our planet's violent past. The other was made in a lab a few weeks ago. The massive difference in price has nothing to do with what they are, and everything to do with the story we decide to tell about them. And that brings us right back to where we started, with that slogan, a diamond is forever. It's funny because scientifically, they were right. From a thermodynamics standpoint, a diamond is incredibly stable here on Earth's surface. The carbon bonds are so strong that it would literally take longer than the current age of the universe for it to decay back into graphite. So yeah, for you, me, and everyone will ever know, it pretty much is forever. So that leaves us with one last big question, doesn't it? Which really lasts longer, the stories we tell or the things we tell stories about? Our human tales of curses and empires and even romance, they're powerful for sure, but they change and they fade away. But the diamond itself, that perfect little grid of carbon atoms held together by the fundamental laws of physics, it's going to be here long, long after all of our stories are forgotten. And maybe, just maybe, that's the greatest story of them all.